Ready? Hello and welcome back to Big Bear Review, where we review movies of your choice and our choice. This week, we got James's movie choice,
yes.
The Birdcage.
Yes.
Come on, James. You know the drill.
It's a movie.
Oh, God.
It's a good movie. Okay.
You're supposed to give your spiel.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We've done this so many times. You should know what to do already.
No. Winging it is so much fun.
Is it though?
It is. I think it is.
Oh my god. You don't know the plot of your own movie choice?
No, I was gonna say when it was made.
Oh my god.
1996. So this was made in 1996. So, huh?
I was 2 years old.
How old were you, Romeo? You want to tell me something? How old were you? 1996?
I was 4.
Oh, man. I was...
We were children.
Older than you guys.
It's okay.
It's fine.
There's nothing wrong with being a little bit older.
You both are still breastfeeding.
I mean...
Yeah, you were 12.
Was that 12?
You were 12.
Well, you're 11 turning
12?
Turning 12.
Ah.
Because
Awesome. I was 12 years old when this was made. It stars Robin Williams, which is really the reason I picked this movie. In general,
I was not 2 years old. I was 1 and some change. Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted.
1 and some change.
I'll take it.
No, not yet. Don't drink your apple juice or water. It looks like water, actually.
It does look like
But
water.
anyways. I picked this movie because his birthday just passed, and he's actually one of my favorite actors. It's about a nightclub owner that runs a drag club in Miami. He also is partnered with one of the stars, one of the drag stars. And he has a son, which he had through a surrogate. And it kind of revolves around the son wanting to get married to the daughter of a senator who is insanely conservative. It's like the epitome of conservativeness. He actually started something called the Coalition of Moral Order in the show, which is just such a shitty thing to even call. I mean, and then the father gets roped into, while creating the Coalition of Moral Order, his partner ends up dying. Mm-hmm. And the Romeo's like, man, I want some water. Don't worry, you can have a shot in a minute. His partner dies in the bed of, I'm not gonna say it.
Scandal.
Yeah, it's a scandal. I'm not gonna say who he died with, just because I don't want to offend anyone and ever take it out of context. I'm not gonna say, but it's definitely someone that he should not have been sleeping with.
It's definitely a content/trigger warning.
Yes. So I'm not going to say it.
To be fair, it was a product of its time.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was most definitely
yeah.
a product of its time. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still a content.
So I won't say who he was in bed with when he died, but
just an underage person.
But they do interview this person that he was in bed with,
and it's kind of funny.
And it's
like
funny.
The R. Kelly interview.
Oh yeah, it's very much a hilarious moment.
Anyways,
it's so funny. Yeah. So the son and the daughter want to get married, and they both tell their parents, and the scandal happens like right after the guy dies, and so they think, oh, we'll get them married. It'll take attention off of this, so they go and meet
basically for
the parents of the son,
for basically to get whatever kind of what's left of his reputation intact. So
his mind is
salvage
like,
it. He wants to.
What does the mom say? This is a big white wedding. This is
again,
so obviously it's like, well, white wedding is like two people coming together in love, and
You-
two normal people in that era.
Which is what I said.
So it's like
content slash
it's
trigger
very
warning.
it's very like
It's very
they-
nuclear family.
yeah, they very nuclear family-esque. But they go to meet him, and it's just an unmitigated disaster. I mean, everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Like, you think, oh, maybe they got to handle it. Nope. Like, maybe nothing will go back. No, everything just rolls downhill and then blows up, and it's so funny. So, yeah. It's really funny. I liked it. So, Romeo.
Oh, yes.
What did you think of the movie?
I liked it too. I thought it was very funny. I loved the cast.
I know.
The cast for sure was what kind of carried not just the cast only, but I really liked the writing. The writing was very what carried the film as well as its cast. What was his name? Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane.
Lane was hilarious.
Oh, I know.
He was the best
So
part.
good.
So was Robin Williams, but I just feel like this is the moment, because usually Robin Williams steals the show, and I feel like Nathan Lane kind of outshines Robin Williams in this movie.
Yeah.
Because
I think in some scenes he was
very good, but I did like the chemistry between them. It definitely was entertaining. It was funny. I enjoyed it. There were just some aspects of it that, like, okay, I guess spoilers for the movie, because we're I want to kind of dive into it, of kind of what my problem was with this movie. My problem for me was the son and the daughter. I did not like those characters, because I kind of feel like
who?
the daughter and the son, the ones that are getting married.
Oh, okay.
I did not like their characters, because I just feel like the son, and I know it was a product of his time, and I get what they were kind of going with it and what were his motivations, but like, he's asking his gay fathers to not be how they are.
Oh.
And to strip anything of their kind of like their personality. And the whole time that they're doing it and they're making this happen, they're going through so much trouble just to kind of like make their conservative family, like, okay, they went through a lot of trouble. It's not like just one little favor where they go, no, they changed the entire decor of their house, which is funny. It was funny, and I get their motivation, but it's like the more they do it, and the more like in depth they do it, and they even get like their surrogate mother that hasn't been in their lives for forever, but he made it happen. Then they canceled on her. It's like, okay, we're gonna have the gay fathers do this, but he wasn't for it until the mom called back. And when the mom called back, that's, he answered the phone and was like, oh yeah, come, I want you to come. And it's like, I did not like his character. His character just kind of annoyed me. Like you're being an asshole to your dad. They just kind of weren't as likable, and it wouldn't have been a problem if he wasn't in it so much. But there was like a huge chunks of the movie where he's like in it a lot, and I don't know. This is just a personal thing for me, but I just didn't really care for his character, because I just feel like it was just kind of like making his like gay fathers and putting them in this shitty situation where they have to be other people and not like themselves. But I know that they did it for comedic effect, and it delivered. Like, the situation was funny. It was well written, so it delivered on all aspects. But I just didn't really care for the son, to be honest, and that's just me. That's just like my personal kind of gripe with it. Just that. But everything else is like great that I liked.
Mario?
I can agree with Romeo, and I'll play devil's advocate here. That movie, while it didn't hold up very well in current events and times, was still a great movie. And
I didn't think it was. It didn't held back on it.
Well,
No, like it still aged well.
It didn't age well.
I just didn't
now.
like his character. That was my gripe. I didn't like his character.
It didn't age well because of the way we look at society and the way we look at things right now. Like, that's completely and utterly different from the way it was 20 some odd years ago, where it wasn't really okay to be gay. And that's exactly why he wanted to do it. I'm not saying it's okay now, but it's kind of like the Mad Men era of things. That's something I'm like, eh.
No, yeah, but I really felt the hurt, especially from, like, Nathan Lane's character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, he was hurt that it's like, oh, you're gonna go away. You know, just for the night, but he felt so. I could feel it. You know, like I could feel how hurt he was.
I'm not saying what he did wasn't shitty. And
yeah, like where am I going? Oh, I see it. You know, like it kind of like
Mario.
Yeah.
Both of you. I'm not saying what he did wasn't shitty. I'm saying I felt like this is the extent into which a parent is willing to go for their child, and this is what we should be seeing. Like, this is what we should be doing as parents.
No, and those aspects
are beautiful.
I liked, especially like when Robin Williams actually decides to go with it, and he like tells his dad like, oh, thank you from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing this, and he was like, do me a favor, don't talk to me for the next couple of days, and it's like yeah, that felt real to me. Yeah. You know, like those aspects were great. You know, and like I said, I get what they were going. I get it. It's just, you know, but I still think that the son's a piece of shit. Though. Oh. You know,
but it's made 20 years ago. And I'm like, that's what I keep going. Not even 20 years ago. It was made 24 years ago.
It's been that long.
Yeah, it's really been that long. Like, the political landscape, even the movie industry landscape, was way different back then. Mm. Like, it was the Mad Men era where men were supposed to be dominant and supreme. And I'm not justifying what the fuck he did. I'm not. I'm still saying it was shitty and it was fucked up. Mm-hmm. But I completely understand and I can sympathize with him, even though it was a shitty thing to do.
Oh, yeah. I could I understand like the decision making and without that character there wouldn't be a movie.
Yes.
So I get what they were going.
I get what they were going for. Yeah. I was just saying that the movie didn't necessarily hold up as well as maybe they thought it would against the years of time.
I actually didn't find this movie all that offensive, to be honest.
No.
There wasn't anything offensive about it.
No, I didn't find it offensive. I think they were poking more at the conservativeness of the family, which I thought was hilarious because it's like...
It's just basically two like people from opposite sides of the spectrum meeting in this like lie or this like, you know, charade that they were just kind of cooping up just so they can, you know, have their children can get married, basically. Yeah. It's just really to just appease that. But that's where all the comedy comes out of it. Yeah. And that's where I kind of like it.
What was one of your favorite parts?
I don't know, actually. The movie was great.
Like, there's no one moment that stands out?
Not really.
I think
I love Nathan Lane, though. He was hilarious.
Yes, okay, so
Cheers.
I know. So, okay, well. So
yeah.
It's such good apple juice.
You both lose that challenge.
It burns. Apple juice burns. Is it supposed to do that? I don't think so. Oh God, it's a kitty. It's an evil kitty.
Is it though?
Yeah. God. Anyways,
Okay, how much?
That's fine. We don't need that much more.
I'm good.
That's fine. Just a little bit. That's fine.
Good.
That's fine. Jesus. That, you know what? That is wrong.
No.
Yeah, I'm taking this one.
My
Yeah,
cup
I'm
of
not
that.
gonna have that one. So anyways, one of my favorite lines. We were watching it. He called me Albert.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, when he was talking to the mom in the office and she's like feeling his chest hair, and then he drives off and they go home and he's like, where is he? Oh, he's probably somewhere on the freeway with the parking brake on. Like driving home with the parking brake on.
Oh.
And then he comes in and he's like, I want my toothbrush. And then he's like about to leave. He's like, okay, I'll bite. Where are you going? He's like, Las Copa. He's like, Las Copa. There's only a cemetery there. He's like, why do you think I'm back in light? He does this. He's like, you're going to a cemetery with your toothbrush. How Egyptian. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And he said, that's you. Being dramatic. And I'm like, and then he said Charlie's gonna tell Charlie to tell his kids that I'm Albert and he's Armin.
It's not wrong.
I'm like,
I feel like we could say that about a lot of relationships inside this house.
oh yeah, but it's like,
Isn't that right,
It
Armin?
was funny.
Well, yeah. Nathan Lane's character was
But
my fiance, basically.
I know. It's like, yes, I agree. But it's like that part, or when like the son just got done hanging up with the mom, and he's like, oh, he won't embarrass me, blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, so this is hell, and they both look at the cross on the wall. He's like, oh, there's a crucifix in it. I'm like, just die, because how Robin Williams delivers so many of his lines, it's just so, yeah, so that's life. Yes, and that's why we said he's Armin, because he when he says little quippy nonsense out of the blue, that's how Mario sounds. That's how he sounds. Exactly. So
C'est la vie. This is reality.
And apparently I'm just as dramatic as
apparently.
Okay, I am as dramatic as Albert. So yeah, we were laughing the whole time about that for a hot minute.
I'm like, let's tell the truth and shame the devil here.
Oh my God, shut up.
Why do I have to shut up to tell you
Anyways,
that you're dramatic as hell?
I think that Robin Williams was the perfect role for Armin, because like he is serious when he wants to be. Because like a lot of his earlier career is supposed to be comedy, a lot of it's comedy, and then in his later career it was some serious roles, but not a lot. But when he's serious, and it's funny that he pulled off like the concerned dad. He's like, you know what? No, this is too crazy. I can't deal with this. You know, and then he's like, something like, oh, he called my bluff. I thought that was cute.
It was cute, because that would actually be me as a dad.
I know, exactly.
I'd be like, you're getting married to him or her? Like,
I know, right? You would be the most
dare you
sassy.
leave me?
You'd be the most sassy dad.
ugh.
Oh my God. I don't have to hear about it later. Jesus. I'm like, what did he say?
My favorite part would be when he was trying to help Robin was trying to help Nathan Lane to be more straight.
Yes.
And he had to do the walk, and he was like, okay, here's an image. It's a cliche, but it's an image. And then he was like, John Wayne.
Yes.
And then he was like, oh God. And then he did the walk with John Wayne, and then he got back and was like, what, was that too much? And he was like, actually, no, it was perfect. I just didn't know John Wayne walked like that.
But it's true. John Wayne did walk like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Oh my God.
I used to watch John Wayne movies with my grandpa, and when he walked, I was like, is he broken? Like, is that why is he walking like that? And my grandpa's like, that's how cowboys walk. And I'm like, okay. I didn't understand what that meant. But then when Nathan Lane did it, I'm like, that's how he walks. But seeing a gay man walk like that, it makes John Wayne just like,
Yeah.
so was there a dick in your ass at one point? Is that why
Most
you walk?
definitely.
Why you walk like that? Well, was Hollywood. Oh, Sorry.
It was Brokeback Mountain before it was cool.
No.
Oh shit! I did it again.
What?
Nothing.
What did you do?
Just said something really quippy, really better.
Brokeback Mountain. There we go.
Before it was cool.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what it was. And I do agree with Romeo that I don't like how the son did things. And I mean, of course, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot to ask.
The movie's trying to make you like him, and it's like.
I mean, honestly, the story is they're honestly the guy and the girl, the main characters.
Yes.
It's really all about the parents.
which is kind of like a flaw for me. Well, it's kind of a flaw for me because the movie is mainly this whole thing is being done for them.
Yeah,
and yet they're the ones who have like the least amount of characters.
Yeah.
They're just
that's the thing. It's like I don't really know. I mean, I know kind of like the son's point of view, but the more they talk about the son, the more like I hate him. Who asked her why he's doing that? But the daughter, the daughter didn't really have much of her
what
going
was she
on.
supposed to do or say?
I don't know. Like
she's just there for.
I would like to know a little bit about like her perspective in this. But.
In all honesty, she
got to
is
see
more.
It towards the end. She's more on the liberal side.
Yeah, she's more on the liberal side because like
I know that.
Like how at the end.
But like when they show scenes with her and her family, it's like mostly the center of attention goes for the dad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it should be
mostly, rather than her.
As I said, she's a subplot.
Yeah.
Like she's not really the main conflict.
I mean, come on,
of the movie.
the main interests are the parents. The parents meeting their reactions to each other. The kids are just there because that's the reason for the rest of them to be together.
No,
But like you hating the kid and how he acts, I get that because, I mean, if your kid came to you and asked you to hide who you were, because they're the parents of the person that your son's gonna marry is a bunch of assholes, and they're like, this is just like you may never meet him again, whatever. I just want
if my kid...
I just want one nice dinner, so then like later we can have shitty ones together or whatever,
But honestly, if my kid came to me and asked me to do it, I would do it.
I would too, because I mean, I realize how the world is. I'm not, and I'm going to try to help my kid as much as possible. Because like if it comes to that situation where like they're about to get married, and I may not agree with their marriage, I realize if I don't agree, they're gonna do it anyway. So I have to try to face it with like a grain of salt. I'm like, okay, they're getting married. I have to try. Let's try. But yeah, how he goes about it is wrong. And I mean, the dad did suck it up and be like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. But yeah, I'm a little upset with you. But at the end, the kid ends up like doing
his own thing.
Yeah, his own thing. He's like, hey, you know what? This is my mom. And he takes off the wig off. Well, Albert.
I know.
It's like, this is mom. And like the fact that he says like this is my mom.
I know. But he only did it because they were caught at that point.
Well, yeah.
Because had they not been caught, he would have still played along with it, and then that would be it.
He was just trying to placate the girl's dad.
I know, but it still makes him a very like unlikable character to me. I know what they're doing is for comedic effect, and they're doing it to kind of drive the plot forward, but that means that that's the weakest link, because everything else about the movie is strong, but it's just that to me was like the weakest link, and I'm just trying to be kind of like fair and looking at it as a whole, and pinpointing like, okay, this is good, but this part is like the weakest part.
But even looking at it as a whole, it still comes down to the concept of hindsight is 20/20. Like, when that movie was released, his behavior was acceptable. But to us as millennials, and kind of just knowing that this isn't okay.
That's why I'm still giving it like a positive rating.
I understand.
Because.
But what I'm saying is, like, if we're looking at it from the eyes of us and the way we feel about things, then yeah, that becomes the weakest link. But if we look at it from the perspective of the movie maker at the time in which they made it, then it's like, oh, this is actually a really cool like plot device or a plot idea. It may not be the overarching thing, but it is essentially what ties everything together.
Yeah, but it's still the weakest part of the movie.
It's 1996.
It's weakest, but at the same time, it's also the strongest.
Oh God. Anyways, it's 1996. I mean, obviously we weren't weren't super like we were still fighting for
I know, but
huge amounts of equality, and like that war on us was still going on big time.
But so I mean, true. But I just feel. I mean, it's not the point of view that I have a problem with it. It's more of these. It's more of like, okay,
the movie's trying to make you like them.
The movie's trying to make me like the son, but I don't really buy it. But at the same time, the daughter didn't really get a lot of development, and I kind of wanted to kind of get to know her a little bit, since they are kind of like the reason why this is all going on. So I kind of wanted to know a little bit about her point of view, because I mostly just got when the film focuses on her family, or when it trying to focuses on her, the one that takes the light away from her is her parents, because their parents are more like interesting characters than her. Hell, even their what's it called, their gay maid, or whoever the dude is, the gay maid that was living with them.
Oh, Agador.
Yeah. Even he has more. No. Even he has more like development than the daughter. You know, like there are moments with him that he's like very entertaining, and I know like where he's coming from, and like, oh, you know, like they put little details, and he's not even in it that much, but they put little hints how like, oh, he's from how his parents are like witches or something, you know, like
no, it was a shaman.
Oh yeah, they were like shamans, and they're like natives and stuff and stuff like that. Like
why did he move here? Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah, you know, but like the weakest link for me was just like
the kids,
like not really the son. The son, I understand his point of view, but I just don't agree with it. That's just it. But the daughter, I didn't really get much out of her, other than she's just the what's it called, the woman that the main character, which is the son, is just interested in.
I don't think they're the main characters. I think their plot, regardless, is a very low tier plot, and the real plot is the parents meeting, and the parents in general. That's why when you say that the dad takes the spotlight or the mom takes the spotlight, that's intentional. I think the kids being there is just the reason that they're gonna meet. That's it. Like, you caring about them, like, the movie tries to make them a plot, but they're not in any way the overarching plot of the entire movie. It's not. Like, at the end, you know, when they're married, that's a means to an end, but honestly, it's like the parents, what they're going through, what their conversations are with each other, things that they had to deal with. That is like what it's about. Oh, you're drinking it now? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm just taking little sips. So.
I'm not having drinking it. Okay. But
drink your apple juice, honey.
You should always drink your apple juice.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
How many apples is this? Half an apple? Do I have to have more apples?
It's your liquid apple. Yep, there you go.
Oh, it's awful.
To piggyback off of what James was saying.
Oh my God, it burns.
Oh, I mean, it's cheap, but okay. Okay.
He did the same thing.
I'm sure he did. I'm really the only one here who took that apple juice without a face.
Anyways, bloodstream
what were you
is
saying?
made out of apple juice.
I was saying, I feel like the kids are meant more just to add subcontext to what is actually happening. I don't, like, even with the scenes and the daughter and her father, I feel like her nonverbal communication speaks a lot more volumes to what is going on to the scene than what she is actually saying. Like, yeah, she didn't get to talk much, yeah, she didn't get developed much, but you do see her, like, fidget or do, like, other little things to be like, I don't really want to agree with you, or I don't really agree with you, so, like, can we just not have this conversation? When she tries to, like, steer it away from what her dad is talking about every now and again, even in her little scenes, she tries to steer it away to be like, you do realize you sound like a fucking idiot, right? But I agree with you. She doesn't get much, like, development or plot, but I do feel like her nonverbals speak a lot of volumes to what is actually supposed to be, like, driving the plot itself. And same thing goes with, like, the kid. Like, while he is asking his parents to do this terrible shit, you can see that it's like, I don't really want to do this, but I understand that I have to because this is the woman that I love.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, 'cause I don't think they're meant to be the main plot at all. I think the real plot is the parents. It's really just about the parents.
Yeah.
And they're not, because it's like,
and the kids are there just for context.
Yeah, the kids are there for context. Like, if you take them, like, their plot and put it all the way to the bottom, and then just focus on the other main plot of them, what they're having to go through to deal with the situation, like, having to change, like, basically give her everything out of their house. Every fucking thing. Change the way they dress, change the way they look, change how they, like, everything. Like, the fact that he puts on makeup, because, like he did this and then put it on the wall. You know, it's like, all the statues, all the art, like, everything has to be completely out of there because nothing can be perceived as homosexual. And at that time, of course, like, when he said, oh, well, his dad is Kevin Keeley.
He's like, who?
And then he's like, who? And, like, his dad doesn't know because, like, he doesn't pay attention to politics, which, you know, God, don't you wish we could just ignore that? But, you know, like, in our world. But, like, he's conservative. Half of America is conservative. And he's like, so what is there? Is a bunch of Nazis? Like, no, they're a bunch of conservatives.
I mean, I think this movie was made during Bush era.
96?
I think that's Bush era.
Or was that? I thought that was Clinton.
Oh, it might be Clinton. But, like, regardless, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well,
the majority of America at the time.
Regardless, like, yeah, it was America. America is still very conservative. Whether we're moving towards a more positive outlook on the LGBTQ plus community or not, like back then, like, it was really not in theaters. It was really not in movies or TV, and if there was, it was like a minor, tiny role, like it.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Oh.
What?
I was gonna say we should probably get to ratings.
Okay.
We can continue talking, but let's get to ratings.
What do you want to rate it?
What we're talking
I'll let you
about.
go first.
Like I said, I love.
Before you give your rating, I only said we should get to ratings just to clear the air about how we feel about this movie, regardless of if we have gripes or not. We can still continue to discuss how we felt about it, or even how the political landscape has changed. But just like, hey, this is what we overall think about it.
Okay. Romeo?
I give this movie a 7. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
I love the characters. I love the cast. I love the writing. Just my gripes about it, which I've already explained. Had I got a little bit more development from the daughter more, or like at least those two, you know, I would have kind of thought it would be it would like, I don't know, pave more like interesting ways of how it'll go about it, or reveal something about their character more. Like, because I just feel like those two were like the only thing that were least developed. My personal just gripe about it, and you know, a lot of people don't feel that way, but it's just my personal gripe was the son. Like, I get what he was doing, but I just don't agree with it. You know, like it just made me not like the character
100%.
too much. But you know, but overall, I mean, the comedy was great. Yeah, the comedy was like if I were to rate it, like comedy, acting, 10.
10 out of 10 every time.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. But yeah, but just those two.
Those two brought it down to a 7.
Yeah.
Really, a 7?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's sad. I'm like, those two. Okay,
hold on.
Considering a minor plot dropped into a 7, that's
hold
sad.
on.
What?
You have
It
to
is.
hold on. You have to remember that we see things through our emotional filters. So that impacts the movie for him.
That's fine. What did you give Gone Girl? What'd you give Gone Girl?
I gave that a 9.
Fuck you.
You gave it a 2.
No, actually, I changed
Ladies,
it. It's half of one.
stop fighting. You're both pretty.
I changed it.
Ladies, stop fighting. You are both pretty.
One more.
No. I'm
One
good.
more. No, one more.
Oh my god.
Okay, one final one of the apple
No.
juice.
Okay.
And
So
this one's specific.
Okay, so
It'll be close.
I give it a 7.
Oh.
Had the daughter mainly.
Just a little bit.
Just a T.
Had the daughter or the son just kind of had like a character revelation where he like kind of changes his point of view about things, but you know, not to the point where he got like outed or you know got caught.
Yeah.
Would have redeemed his character a little more, in my opinion. You know, instead of me having just be sour about his character.
Yeah.
And you know, things are falling.
Oh my god.
You kitty.
And yeah, and had I gotten a little bit more development from the daughter, then I would have given it a higher rating. But a 7 is a good rating for me.
It is.
So, still a positive rating. Still good.
It's not a 5.
Keep going to the line.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I give it a 10.
Okay. Why?
Why? I really love the.
He just explained why he gave it a 7.
Well, he gave.
I know. I gave you
half million.
justification
Yes.
Okay,
as to why I gave my rating.
I liked all the actors. I mean, that was Ally McBeal before Ally was Ally McBeal. I mean, seeing her like do that role was interesting. I mean, of course, their plot was this small compared to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I was really focusing on their wedding. I was focusing on the nonsense the parents had to go through to deal with each other. I think that was like the funny part. Like when Nathan Lane is in the wig and being the mom and like just talking, and then
feeding him everything.
And then Armand is like just looking at him like,
shut up.
Please stop talking. Why is he talking? He's making everything worse. And then like he goes in the kitchen. It's like, I've never had so much go wrong so fast. And he's sweating. And then he's drinking the bottle of sherry. And he's just like losing his shit. It's just And then the dad like, or you know what was another one was like when the dad's telling that story about the leaves. Just the most boring piece of dribble. Like. They're like, really? This is what you think is fascinating?
Yes.
It's like the trees, the leaves, blah 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 blah. And he just kept talking, and everyone was like, I have to stay awake. I have to. Okay, blink so they know I'm still alive. You know, that was funny, and I give it. I think everything about the movie is funny. I know if you watch it in. There's an evil kitty. If you watch it from our time and our point of views now, of course that movie is a lot different. It's
slightly problematic.
It's not as. It was more problematic back then to be homosexual than it is now.
Yes.
And we have gained a lot of ground in that. So this movie is a tiny bit dated. Not like super
to the
bad.
point where it's like terrible.
But, yeah, it's not terrible, but it is true. Like you would, like what the kid asked, considering he fell in love with the girl just because. And yeah, it sucks that the parents of the girl is too conservative nutbags. So it's like, yeah, but he loves her, and he's like, fuck, I really love her.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask my dad this, and then he made the point like, you did protect me before, with the teacher, and he's like, well, yeah, well, she was a small-minded idiot, which is true, and he said I can still get hurt. You know, so it's like. You protected me before, I'm asking you to do it again. Yeah. Because last time he didn't ask. This time he's asking. And he knows that this is probably a situation that he will not have to deal with later. Like the wedding, I mean, would of course be I mean, you saw the wedding. It was cute. Like there's just a bunch of like
a bunch of drag
one looks like a funeral and the other one looks like pride. So it's like really bright and colorful versus dark and sad. I'm like, did someone die on that side of the... I don't know what's going on. But, I mean, it was still really funny, well done. Like, I love Robin Williams in this. Like, I think this is one of his... to me, this is one of his better roles. I loved him in Mrs. Doubtfire. But, like, Robin Williams, like, as Armand was so good. And Nathan Lane, so funny.
Oh
like,
God.
he played off Robin Williams so well. You know, and I think they both enjoyed making the movie together. So it was a lot of fun too. You could tell that they had fun making this. Mm-hmm. You know, like their interaction when he's trying to show them, they're rehearsing for the next drag show, and he's chewing gum. He can't chew gum while I'm dancing. and then the guy's like, and Robin's like trying to describe the role. And then he's like, I don't get it. And Nathan's like, chew more gum. Like, because the gum helps him think. Yeah. So, you know, those are like funny things that I remember about it. Like, the being in hell and there's a crucifix in it. That's funny. The Egyptian thing. Like, those things, like, I always remember and I always laugh no matter how many times I've seen this movie. It's probably like 20 times. Because it's just always funny. So, like, even that it is 24 years old?
Yeah.
24 years old. I still think it's fucking hilarious. And some movies don't age that well. I can actually say, yeah, this makes me laugh. But I think most, if not all of Robin Williams' movies, I can watch again and laugh regardless. Because he's just such a good... such a good, amazing actor. And that's why I wanted to select this movie. Because there's never going to be someone like him again. Mm-hmm. And as many people have tried to, like, emulate him, like, no one comes close. Like, I can't think of an actor. Like, when he passed, I was legit hurt. You know, remember when David Bowie died? How sad you were? Mm-hmm. Like that, you know, because like I grew up watching Robin Williams. I watched Mork and Mindy, which was on Nick at Night. It was about an alien and like this girl, and like it was just ridiculous nonsense. It was so funny, and that was one of his first roles. And his stand-up is funny too. Mm-hmm. And then you got Aladdin, him as the genie. You got Mrs. Doubtfire. You got so many other movies where he's just so funny that it's like. You can watch him again 100 times and he still is able to make you laugh. And I think that's one of the things that made me pick it. Because, like, no matter when I watch this movie, it always will make me smile. So, yeah. And that's why I give it a 10. Mm-hmm. What do you give it, Marino?
I give it a 9.
All right.
I thought it was very cute and sweet. It was really, it was funny. I will give it that it was funny, even though it still had its problematic points. And that's not me trying to like get clout or be woke and shit. Like, but it also made me think about like how I would be as a parent, and I would legit just talk to my kid like, "Yeah, I'm the middle-aged fag. So what do you want me to do? Like, this is who I am. So fuck it." But I mean, at the same time, like the way that Robin Williams or the dad responded to his son and just bent over backwards kind of was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, I wish that my parents were like that, because my parents are akin to the conservative parents, so I can see a lot of, like, my life and a lot of, like, a ton of other gay people's lives that I know in this movie. And I can see these conversations happening. But what I couldn't see, and what I absolutely loved the movie for, was the fact that they went out of their way to make sure that their son was happy, and they supported their son in whatever it was that he was trying to do. And that was just something that I feel like most of us never really got. A lot of us kind of got shifted to the side and just told we weren't supposed to be who we are. And while it was shitty for the son to do that, I was like, this is really beautiful that the dad showed his son, like, hey, I love you regardless of who you choose to marry, and I will be there for you regardless of what happens. Even if that means that I have to suppress myself for one night, I am still willing to go that extra mile for you because I owe you everything, and you owe me nothing. Like, you didn't have to come to me and be like, Dad, I want you to meet this woman that I'm in love with. Like,
yeah.
So, it was really cute. It was also really funny. I was kind of like, you know, there will never be another Robin Williams. No. And this humor is, like, just dry as all hell. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of me. Like, I'll just say something straight up and not even think about it. It'll just slip the fuck out of my mouth.
His delivery is very much your delivery of things.
Because there's just, like,
a small little quip that maybe some under his breath. But if you're there to catch it, it's like, this shady motherfucker. I can't believe.
And it's just like, I think about it because I'm, and this is not even for me to brag, but like most of my friends are like, I want to sit next to you when shade is being thrown, because you always say something fucking shady as hell, and it's never like out there shady. It's just kind of like, yeah. It's like Dorothy shady.
Like, the sky got dark, didn't the sun just come out? I'm like, it's more, it's talking shit. So.
But it's like, his level of shade is Dorothy's level of shade. Like,
yeah.
And that's what makes me like him even more. I'm kind of sad that he's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I liked the movie overall. I do understand where Romeo is coming from with, like, the son kind of being this shitty person that I'm not supposed to like. But I feel for him because I understand his situation. And I wish that the daughter did get more plot development, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I grew up as a writer, sort of. So I just, like, I look for the unsaid things. Like, in my head, it's like the writer really intended this. And then when I see it, it's like I'm writing it down in my head, and, like, she has all of these emotions and all this other dumb shit that's not being said. So I get where Romeo's coming from, but I also have my personal opinion, and I do wish the daughter actually was able to verbalize these opinions. But coming from a conservative background or coming from conservative parents, I know that that's not really the thing to do, so I understand why she didn't say a lot of those things to them, because it's like, you'll instantly be disowned or something like that, or something else is going to happen. That doesn't really change.
Yeah, you're siding with the wrong people. That's
and it's like a us versus them kind of thing, but it's, in this movie, I feel like it would have been a step in the right direction to give her those moments to say, like, hey, this is the man I love and I'm going to stand for him regardless of whoever he is, or if whether or not you agree with me or not. But at the same time, I'm like, that's not the time. So yeah, Romeo's right. She does need a little bit more development, even if she is a subplot. But overall, the movie was great. Like, it's still funny. I still liked it. I feel like they did a very good job with the war of ideals versus, like, the Democrats basically versus the Republicans in the way that we look at it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of akin to the way we're looking at life now. Like, even though this movie is 24 years old, it's still relevant to this day, where we have liberals versus conservatives and gay rights and all these other things that are coming up in our everyday lives, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I give it a 9. It had its problematic moments, it had its sweet moments, and it was overall funny. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I also wanted to add something. That when after I finished watching it, it kind of like marinated on me a little bit. I kind of also feel that they didn't know how to end it.
They didn't.
Because when they got out, I never really got that like satisfaction of that the two parents compromised each other or they respected each other. Like they just got out and it just went straight to the wedding, and then they were in their separate families and they just never like came together to kind of like, okay, even though our opinions are different, I respect your opinion. Like there wasn't really much validation after that.
But I think that was intentional because the right never really respected gay rights. And you can kind of see that flow through history. So I can understand why they would be like, I don't care.
But I could have been just satisfied with the I don't agree with you, but I respect your kind of point of view, even though it doesn't. I don't value those things, and because come on, like he got them out of that situation.
He did.
I would have, from the paparazzi frenzy, what? And like I would have had it a little like, I may not agree with you, but I respect you, like I never had that. Those parents had like an understanding. Like it just went straight to the wedding, and then that was it. And then it's like, okay, we can see them get married, but I didn't see that. I would have liked to see that at the end.
But it probably just would have led to more conflict that was unnecessary.
I think
it wouldn't be conflict. It was just it would give like a little bit of a satisfying, little niche towards the end,
But let's be realistic about it. They would never say, I don't agree with you, but I respect you. That's not the way they work.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but this is a comedy, so it's so it's not really like.
But what makes comedy funny is the fact that you actually put it against reality. So,
but it's not like, trying to be real at the same time.
But it is.
It is, but it isn't at the same time. So just like even though they don't see eye to eye, it was like but thanks for getting me out. Like I never had that like interaction towards the end. It just went straight to they just got married.
I mean, honestly, I think they did because they didn't have to do all that shit. Like they could have let him walk out the front door and be like, "Hey, fuck it, deal with it." Yes. I don't agree with you. I don't give a shit really how you feel.
At the same time,
but it seemed like they basically got the entire club involved, so these two could get out because he wants his kid to be happy, and they want them to all to work together because it's not really about them; it's about the kids.
Yeah.
At that point, those two set of parents are trying to make everything about their kids and make sure that nothing becomes of this nonsense that they've created. You know, so getting them out safely was the point, and I think there's probably some mutual respect because they didn't have to do any of that.
They didn't. But it is the unconditional love for one side saying, I will do what it takes to make sure my kid is happy. Yeah. And the girl's parents are like, well, if you follow my rules, then I will love you and love who you are with. It's kind of like when you do someone you don't like a favor, you don't expect a thank you.
I just wish I would have seen something satisfying towards the end. At least between the two parents, because you guys said like earlier, like, oh, this isn't about the parents, it's about the kids. But earlier you guys were saying like the whole movie was about the parents, not the kids. I would have gotten. That's hence why I feel like the ending I would have gotten something satisfying between the parents, like, it could have been like, oh yeah, we see eye to eye, or we don't see eye to eye, but I just respect your opinion, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, I never had like a closing like thing between them.
But that wouldn't that's the thing about comedy. A lot of comedy is based on what is really actually happening. Because half this shit we can't deal with without a little bit of laughter. Like, let's be real. The reason Trevor Noah was so fucking huge during the Donald Trump era was because he was making fun of things that were actually happening that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, but that's just a little niche that I would have preferred, because that's why I didn't really give it a higher rating. Because in other comedies that I give a higher rating, I like story wise, I got that satisfying feeling. Like, oh, you know, it's not only comedic, but it has some sort of satisfactory towards the story, and I didn't really get that. It's like, they were going there, but then it's like the movie just ends with just them getting married, and that was it. But
Romeo, I'll give you the best advice ever. Just accept the satisfying feeling that you never got. Just accept it. It'll make everything a lot better.
Okay.
That's you asking me to change my opinion. And
Stop it. Have a different opinion.
I'm joking.
I would say,
God.
I would say, like, the fact that they even went on with the wedding, that they're both sitting there with each other. There's some. I mean, I think there's some mutual respect for the parents. I mean, the parents were going to buy their family, and I don't think they give a shit whether the
I'm smart enough. I like,
but it's like the parents. I was respecting enough to even be at the wedding. If they weren't there at the wedding with them, I would be like, okay, obviously.
Maybe just want to support their daughter. But anyways, let's do the toast to Robin Williams, because he drank his already.
You drank yours?
Yes, that's what I said. Let's do the toast.
I'm not doing another one. I gotta wake up early to work.
Oh my god.
So to Robin Williams.
To Robin Williams, thank
Cheers.
you so much for all the laughs.
Thank you for all of your roles.
Mm-hmm. He's drinking here.
There was a little bit of sip.
Next time you're drinking 4. It's awful nonsense. Maybe it'd be better if it was cold. Cold apple juice. It's way better.
So what's our... do you want to present what's our next recommendation?
You look at me.
So what's
with
our next one
disdain.
which you haven't decided on yet? Obviously, have you? Have you decided on your movie?
I have decided on
Oh man, I wonder what it is.
So
What is it?
we've had a string of very heavy movies. So I just wanted to
Heavy?
pick. You broke the string of very heavy movies.
Okay.
Like, a lot of the movies we picked had very, like, heavy and dramatic
Dark.
tones to them.
Dark
Yes.
tones.
Very dark tones. So, I wanted to pick something that was just complete and utter nonsense. Something that I would say, like, hey, if you can get drunk or high, watch it while you're drunk or high. These both are complete...
Drunk
both
or
of
high?
these are dreading it. Because they don't want to watch the movie.
No.
just say the
No,
movie.
I like this.
No,
I like the power.
Just say the movie.
I enjoy the power that I have right now.
Okay.
I'm just going to savor this moment. Romeo's like, what the fuck? He's so mad. He doesn't want to watch this bullshit.
I already seen it, and it was like...
It was awful, wasn't it? It was
You already saw it?
I seen it like a long ass time ago.
I know.
I've seen it a long time ago, too. Okay, so the next movie we're watching, absolutely awful. Doesn't matter. It's probably one of the worst movies ever made.
So we expected to give it a 1.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm expecting like it to get ones all around.
You're like, dude, it's gonna be under a 4. So just be prepared for it.
just be prepared. We are gonna watch Epic Movie.
Who's in Epic Movie?
A lot of people.
That's not helpful.
I know it's not.
So they're all called people?
Yes.
A lot of people?
Yes, they
That's
are.
their full names?
Yep.
All right.
Amen.
Is that a girl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it a guy too?
Yep.
All right. So it's ambiguous. That's
It's
awesome. It's non-binary.
They're non-binary.
It is they.
It's
It is
just
a
a
thing.
they.
Okay. All right. So the next time we'll watch Epic Movie.
And both of these people are like, why the fuck am
Honestly,
I here?
I don't care. I've seen it. It's ridiculous. I'm a fat bitch. Haha. Anyways.
Romeo, it's okay. It's only an hour and a half. I'm sure you've wasted...
It'll feel like 3 hours. to
I'm
me.
sure you have wasted your time on much less. Good God, and stop being so matter of fact. It's so mean sometimes.
Are you sure? It's not mean. Stop mean.
All right.
Being so matter of
So
fact.
you guys want to get involved in the next episode with Epic Movie?
No,
please.
So no.
Please watch Epic Movie.
You guys, like, I just want to clarify this. I don't really care about the movie. I was just trying to pick a joke movie because I know it's completely and utterly trashy. And see, he will have so many critiques. It'll probably be so fucking long.
Oh my god, you know what it's gonna be like when we did Mugen Train?
It'll be
and he's
worse.
gonna have like 15 fucking pages of dumb shit.
I'm gonna. It'll be like this thick ass fucking book of critiques.
No. It's gonna be one post-it. It's gonna be posted on the mic. It's gonna say "fix it."
You're gonna turn it. You're gonna turn the book over.
You know what? No.
I gotta finish this. You're gonna turn the book over, and it'll have the Arthur's face, and which will be me, and it's like, why your movie sucks.
So no. Here's what we're gonna do. The Epic Movie review. We're gonna do a tipsy. It's gonna be so much
okay,
fun.
fine. How many shots? How many
We're
juice?
each gonna do
how
4
many
shots
apple
of apple juice.
4 shots of apple juice.
We're just gonna do 4 shots before we do it. It'll be a drunken review.
Okay, I'm wearing my tank top I got. It's fucking hot as balls.
Okay, so if you guys want to get involved, please by all means put in an audience pick. It can be any movie, even if it's Twilight. I know these two probably don't want to watch
I will not watch Twilight.
So whatever you guys want to put in, it can be any movie. I'm watching Epic Movie, and then the next one will be the audience pick. After that, whenever you're done, love.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye for now.
We'll see you next week. Okay?
We will totally see you next week with Epic Movie as our review, and we'll be a little drunken about it.